What's up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with another set review. We are doing the Tomb of Nazarick, also known as Overlord. I am joined today by Andy, Drew, and Brian.
Hello, hello.
We'll be
Hello.
joined by Tyler as well at some point in the future. And we're going to start with Trial Deck, move through all the colors like we normally do. A little bit of a primer. Overlord's been out in Japan for a really long time. Kind of got blindsided by this one coming out like randomly in English.
I told you because I bought it in JP. That's the only
Yeah,
reason
it's
it came out in English.
it's-
So you're welcome, America.
Yeah, because Drew bought it in Japanese, it now came out in English.
Drew by Steins Gate, Drew.
Bushiroad has a bit of a communication problem, you know.
Yeah.
They say nothing for months, and then it's like, "Hey guys, there's 8 new sets coming."
That's what they normally do. But yeah, it's a little weird that it's coming this late. And like as we move through the cards, and that's why I kind of wanted to preface this, like I think they'll seem kind of behind the curve as we look at them in terms of like the profiles, right? Like some things won't. They have like very legitimately powerful stuff, but like some stuff is gonna seem a little old because this set is like a year and a half, like 2 years old, I think.
Yeah,
At this point.
I think this deck wants to really emphasize on direct attacking. From my experience, anyway, it does that kind of. It has that kind of a profile throughout.
Yeah, even in the trial deck, which is the first thing we're going to do here, you're going to see a lot of direct attack effects where you get bonuses when you direct.
It's nice to keep. It's nice in a sense that it keeps people from just sacking into you, right? Because if they want to sack into you, in my experience, then you just get to compress infinitely, and you just don't ever lose the game.
You get OP Cookyoitus.
Correct.
Gives you too much stock. But so Drew is our, if you couldn't tell by that, Drew is our source matter expert on the actual cards. He's been playing the deck for a while now. Basically since I got back, so a couple of months here. Since like January, February. Mm-hmm. He's played it a lot, so he's sort of our go-to for like how the actual cards play out and stuff. So we'll be asking him a lot of questions throughout this whole thing. So all right, let's jump right into it.
Expert.
Andy, you can start us off.
Excellent decision to let me start as usual.
Mm-hmm.
We got I don't have Hot Seat pulled up. We got the Elf Boy.
No, this is the boy. No, this is the boy. This is the boy.
This is the boy.
That's the boy. They're reversed.
Girl, you know you're my world. All right, he does all your He all your characters in front of him 500. Discard a card from your hand to waiting room when you play them. Do that. Search your deck for Area Guardian of the 6th floor and put it onto any slot of your stage. And Drew, what does this other card do?
Clock Bomb.
I have the trial deck. I don't have it here. It's a Clock Bomb. That's all I know.
No, it's the next card. It's a Clock Bomb.
For a trial deck, it's fine, I guess.
It's okay.
It's weird that it's something that gives 500 power and then searches a Clock Bomb and summons it.
Yeah,
like, what's the point?
Yeah, I was hoping the search target would be slightly overstated so that you could wall with it, but
yeah,
It seems to me that it lets you. It's Drew mentioned earlier that Overlord wants to like win board and get direct attacks, right?
Not much of that stuff at 0. I think that stuff turns on at 2, right, Drew?
Level, yeah. You want to stand by. You want to essentially get your Cocoitus out ASAP. I mean.
Yeah, and that's a 2/2. Like the direct attack synergy stuff doesn't really turn on until.
But check it out.
It also gives you a turn to set up though. Like you summon this, you use its effect. You have two on board for first turn, and for free basically, right? I mean, you discard it. If you know.
Yeah, you can ditch a higher level.
So you can pitch your climax, or you can pitch out your standby target. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
What I was going to say
it's not what I would run, but.
What I was going to say is it lets you maul super hard for like a back row assist, right? You can maul super hard to get your power booster early on, as early as possible, and then also have an attacker early on. Like you can go super hard to get your defensive like field holding card, and then also get your turn 1 attacker.
You
Does
could
this
also put the
trial
card
deck
at
have
any.
standby?
You could also put the
No.
aura on any position on the stage too, so you could back row it if you really wanted to.
I mean, whatever. It's a ditch out. I still hate it though.
Because running,
Yeah,
you know,
I
running
don't like it.
standby, you're
It's-
gonna
it's
not
like
have
a
that many
D.
level zeros.
There's
Agreed.
Yeah,
there's like
it's not.
there's like no reason to run this as a ditch out over.
It's definitely not great, but like I guess because to do the line I was talking about, you would need to like probably run
Yeah.
like four of this guy, and then
Yeah,
three
I mean
of
it's a
this or
TD, right? So
something.
like
It's like
Yeah.
in terms of the TD, it's fine, but it's like
hmm
whatever. We're not gonna remove Tyler's blocks. He'll join us eventually, so I'm just gonna leave it. We'll move on. All right, Brian.
Wow,
Oh.
this is a clock bomb.
Yeah. Vanilla clock bomb.
This is or a guardian.
The
of
more
6
power
DR.
your bomb has, the worse it is at level 0. Especially like going forward, where we get 500 things like Kaban, right? As we get profiles like that, where bombs that are 500 power actually deny those effects.
Well, this card is just completely outclassed by the Ions level 0.
Oh yeah, which
So-
is a 500 power clock bomb. Like there's
And
literally no
it's
reason to run this
also-
card.
Yeah, and it's also a Ricky, or a pay one search. Look at top 3, so it's way better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
There's
just not.
no reason to run this card at all.
I was going to give this card a C because bombs are somewhat playable, but it sounds like there are better options.
I just hate that it's 1500 power.
Yeah,
Makes it like lose to other bombs that have like literally even the trashiest effects, but are 1000 power because of it. Because the lower the
Mhm.
power, the better they are. So
I think it's important that bombs are kind of weak right now too. I think bombs are the worst they've ever been in English at the moment.
in English, yeah, for sure. When we get
Yeah, I
more
can
of
see
those
that.
like Kaban-esque effects, they'll be better. But like they're bad right now. Like they're okay in JP right now, but they're like pretty bad in English.
Because it specifically sends to clock and not waiting room, so it gets
Yeah.
around that. I see.
All right. We got this Demiurge. Is that how you say his name? Demiurge?
Demiurge, yep.
Demiurge? Okay. When your character direct attacks, choose one of your heteromorphic race or Nazarick. Those are the common traits. And that character gets plus 500 power until the end of your opponent's turn. And it is a Draw Brainstorm. Pretty cool for a trial deck Draw Brainstorm. This is a example of a passive direct attack bonus. Sort of Overlord's thing, as we talked about. For a trial deck Brainstorm, it's fine.
Yeah, for a draw brainstorm, I like the effect on it. It seems like one of the better trial deck draw brainstorms that we've seen.
I think the trial deck Brainstorms that like 5-card Brainstorm on play are objectively better than this. I'm just gonna give this a C. Because like in a trial deck, you just want a plus, right? Like you don't care.
So actually, if I sorry to interrupt you, Carmen, I have actually added this card to my standby deck. I've been running it lately. Let's just forget about the brainstorm effect. Its first ability, right? Your Cocoitus comes out at level 1 because you're running a standby deck. You can climax combo with the Ions 2/1, and your Cocoitus is standing, gaining 1,000 for everything, right? You also get to usually in the prime example, your Cocoitus is direct attacking no matter what, right? You want that thing to stick on board no matter what. In my experience, you want to do whatever it takes to keep Cocoitus on board. He's your engine, right? Keeps you at level 2 the whole time. This card helps you do that. More often than not, if you don't have the level 0 that bounces back to your hand to give a character 1,000 power on climax play till the end of your opponent's next turn, this card makes up that difference. How many times we play each other, Carmen, and I've been 500
Yeah,
points
it's
short on
like
my
this.
backup?
It's like this, but also a stock out, right? You like split it with the other one. So like
Correct.
whatever,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, because it's also right, like you said. Yeah, it's a rest itself. So you don't really like. I don't like to salvage with this deck with the Shaltir Brainstormer. Drawing is okay, I guess. You could also draw into your standby, draw into your gates if you really need to. But
Yeah.
like I started running this card specifically for its first ability because you really do find yourself that like nowadays anyway in English, find yourself that 500 power short of using your backup, your 2K backup.
yeah, just to
to
like keep Cocoitus around.
to
Because
keep
that
your
puts him at
Cocoitus
what?
level.
That puts him at 11, right? 'Cause he says 6'5". Okay, so
Seven,
yeah,
yeah.
I guess at level 1 that's a reasonable threshold. I'll
It puts him at
throw it
11
to C
plus
plus. Yeah.
Plus with backup, it gives you 13. You're not getting over.
Yeah, I was saying that's like that threshold at level 1 is really good, even into other standby decks. So I guess the 500 is relevant. Because that was like my follow-up, is the 500 really relevant? But at level 1, you're worried about it getting removed from level 1 into level 2. I guess that is relevant.
Well, a lot of climax combos in English these days are just, or not even climax combos. They're just some of the cards that just pump power into one thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like you swing with it, you reverse a level 0, you give power somewhere else. Your Cocoitus can end up, you know what I mean? And and everybody, you guys will see why I'm talking about Cocoitus so hard. It's like a staple of the deck. So, but like I said, I've noticed a difference. It might not be that great. I don't know. It's just I like it a lot. I really like this card.
I mean, I've seen this in a couple Japanese lists too. So, not just Drew, but plenty of people also are running this for this effect. But okay,
Well,
I think that's a mistake. I think this is about like one of the worst cards I've ever read. Sorry, Drew. I hate it.
Why, Andy?
Maybe your opinion will change when you see the Cocoitus. It's
okay. So like,
it's about the power threshold.
I don't even mind draw brainstorms. I'm like the only person I know who's ever actually sleeved up a draw brainstorm. Like, a plus is a plus to me, but 500 power just doesn't seem worth the trade-off. I don't like whatever search or salvage brainstorm this set has. I don't give a shit what its other effect is.
Well, it's about the timing.
Better than this.
There's a Drew's saying like he's already maxing out on the thing that pops to hand when you play a climax that gives something 1,000 power cross turn. He's running an additional one of these for when he's not on turns when he is not playing a climax, where he wants to put Cocoitus to a higher threshold. Like, putting Cocoitus to a after 2k backup 13k threshold is relevant, as opposed to 12-5, where 12-5 ties with most early plays after climax play.
Because she does nothing, Andy, if you don't climax, if you don't use a climax.
Yeah, if you don't use a climax, that you don't get any additional power buff cross turn.
That card is stuck on board, and I can't tell you how many times,
Why not just play any other assist then? You could just play the shitty first card we talked about.
Well, okay, but you get value out of this card though with its brainstorm ability. You get the added value.
You sometimes in a standby deck you need to stock out because you're incentivized to, like, say you like check top and you see a standby, you're incentivized to swing. Sometimes you need like one stock outs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it's like a one of for this one scenario.
I run it specifically at 1. I keep it at 1. I search it if I need it early. It's
about the threshold, because normally, Andy, I'd agree with you. I'd be like 500 power doesn't do shit, but like the threshold for Cocoitus is relevant. I still don't think it's great. It probably brings down the ceiling of the deck even at a one of, but like it's preference. I can see where Drew's coming from with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just for me 500 power is just it's not enough of a payoff to run this over any other sort of utility 0 or brainstormer or assist or whatever to help keep your Cocoitus alive.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick with my score, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
13k is a relevant threshold.
Having been on the receiving end of watching my Cocoitus get sent to the waiting room because I was 500 power short on the value of this card, to me is just exponential. It's so good. I don't know. It's fine.
All right, let's move on. Drew, this is you.
Borger.
So you have an oversized level 0 that on reverse can't be on court. You can't use any.
That's really bad for the standby deck.
Yeah,
it's fine in the trial deck. But like,
I'm gonna do this.
Why run a 3/5 oversized when they're like you can just run a 4K? Like, I feel like 3/5 no level, no additional effect is like just like this is like a TD card. This is like shit everywhere else.
Let me ask you: Are we rating the trial deck here, or are we taking?
No. We rate trial deck cards as normal cards. Like,
okay.
And then we talk about what we think of the trial deck in general at the end.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. Over the runner that gets the 4K on play.
Yeah. It's just cards just bullshit, garbage. Yeah. All right, back around to the top to you, Andy. Sorry, you get the backup.
We got this young man. He is a 2500 backup.
Got a soul trigger, dude.
Whoa. Oh wait, this is a
Broken.
1/1. This is a 1/1.
1/1 backup. You could stand by it.
Wait a second.
Broken.
I guess 2/1 backups with 2500 usually have another effect. So a 1/1
Yeah.
2500 is actually
This
that's
is
actually on par.
this is vanilla.
But
Yeah.
the soul trigger.
It's got a soul trigger, and they get soul triggers. Yeah.
You know what? I didn't actually.
And like, what is it?
The
The 1/1 Leafa counters also have soul triggers, but are 2k power. Because Leaf is a 500 power demerit.
So like, I actually kind of like it in context. You stand by your big boy at level 2, and then you can still use your
Yeah, you know what?
your backups on it.
Over the
Level 1.
level 0 brainstormer, this could be an option. Like, you're just
No,
don't pay.
I like that the option's there, but this is just worse than a costless 2k. D.
Yeah, it
That's
seems.
true.
Not waste too much time on a
If the choice is
backup.
between this and that brainstormer, I'd go with this every time. Like, soul trigger, you get to push damage. It's standby.
You have a card that gives soul. Like, pushing soul and Overlord actually isn't an issue. It's one of the few standby decks, like X standby, like something else for standby, that doesn't have the soul issue. Because they have a very easily recurable soul pump.
She the one I was talking about, Annie, the one that you drop, and I was saying that if you're not climaxing, she's useless. She's the one that pushes soul as well, because when you play her, you mill the top card of your deck, and if it's got a soul trigger, you can assign that soul trigger to anything in your front row.
And you're a standby deck, so you run a lot of soul triggers. You're pretty favored to hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a vanilla counter. It's not.
Yeah, I think normally it wouldn't be like C worthy, but I think contextually speaking, it helps you hit that threshold without having to run.
Without having
I think
to
it's
run the
worth
other
testing. I think
That
it'd be worth
brainstorm.
testing at the very least. Just test it out. You know what I mean? At a one of, I wouldn't do any more than
It has a soul trigger. It's level 1.
Wow, talking about standby.
Cute character.
Yeah.
Do you, Brian?
All right, we have Sebas, head butler of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. If you have 2 or more other heteromorphic race or Nazarick characters, gets 1500 power and hand encore.
That's clock on core.
Oh, you're right. I can read words.
Do we?
That is a
No.
potential standby target.
This is
7500 clock on core.
so. Here's the thing about Overlord: you don't typically run level 1 standby targets at all because of the you hold. It's a deck where you hold your standby for your level 1 combo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
It makes this a little.
Yeah, it's a little worse.
And it's green, so it's completely off color.
Not completely, but like still, like you would rather it be red.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a cost one to play. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you're
it's-
standbying this card out, it's not good.
It's fine. It's like
Don't these sort of cards usually have soul triggers on them too? He doesn't have soul trigger.
1/1s typically do 1/1 standby targets do not.
They usually don't. Yeah.
Yeah, like Silica doesn't either. This is like this is like a 1/1 quote unquote standby target that's better in a non-standby deck because it has clock encore.
Yeah.
It's like fine for a trial deck.
Yeah, that's like a trial deck card.
Yeah, but it's like whatever. I don't want to give it a C minus because it'd be a C minus if like you just weren't like as a card that you just play down to the field as a 1/1 and you clock yourself, save it, and it's already 7/5 and it has the easy condition, right? Like I would give this card like close to an F that was 500 power for the rest of your board. But it's 2 or more other, so it's fine, I think.
I think you
And
can
then,
say
like,
something being a standby target is even like worthy of bumping it up a rank anymore. It's like
Well, there's
everything has a 1175. That's like who doesn't have that?
Well,
there's
this one's
also
a better
Saltier
condition.
build out there that this would fit in pretty decent for early game power. So it's not that bad.
All right, we can move on. All right, get Demirj again. Level assist. If your level is 3 or more, this gains act. Start up. Pay 1, sack this. Choose one of your Ein's Roller of Death, which is a 3/2 finisher of this trial deck. In your waiting room, put in the stage the slot card was in, and noted that is standing. So, it effectively, if you play it from hand that turn, it is the same as playing the Ein's from your hand. Play from grave. Pretty cool. Standby target. Okay, think about it this way. Not a standby target. It's an assist. If you stand by the assist, you effectively played the Ein's for 1. Or you can play the Eins at level 1. You could stand by this out at 1, and then play the Eins at level 1, and you
No,
cure...
you can't. You have to be level 3.
You're level 3.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Too far into this drink already. Damn. Keeping me honest.
Actually, no, let me change.
It's fine. If you like don't have a better target at 1 and you throw this out and this sits in the back row forever, you can at least convert it into something else.
It seems okay.
I
Play.
have also added a copy of this card to my standby deck.
Or you went back
again,
to the
Yep.
nuke combo.
For Kakoi, yeah, I went back to the new combo. I was running the Restander Death Knight, and it just wasn't fine.
Yeah, just not as
But
good.
this also helps keep Kakoitus on the field, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the thing I like about it. I like that you can tack it in if you want like the level assist. I think this is more valuable as a level assist.
Well, it just
Well,
has a
also-
coincidental other effect, right? Like,
Yeah. Also, putting the Eins in your back row, or putting the Eins on the board for 1, is super efficient because the Eins combo costs 3 to use. So
Actually, how many of the Eins do you run? Is the Eins like a
You run, like,
splash
2 of
weapon, or
it.
do you run like
2.
3, 4?
no, you run
He's
it
a
mostly
2-of.
for the door. You run
He's
it mostly for empty door.
he's a 2-of.
Because if
he's
it's
a
going to
two.
be the same cost to play it,
No, you run.
anyway,
you run
why
him-
why wouldn't I just want to just draw
But here's
or
the thing: you also
the
get
Eins
his
another way?
you also get his effect when you play him using this card, which is look at top 3.
Yeah, he
Take
gets his
anyone.
come and
Look
play
at 3
effect.
cards. Take any one card. It doesn't have to be a character. It
So
can
he
be any
can't
one
trip
card.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
Remind.
couldn't I
you know,
just salvage the Eins back to my hand some other way, play it, and look at 3 cards?
Drew, this set does this set have, like, I guess this is important looking at any level assist. Does this set have, like, a just straight up assist 2K in front level independent? No, it does
No.
not. Okay. So level assists do have more value then. If there's no general assist, like not even level 3 assist, because Cocoitus is level 2, so if we don't have a general assist 2K in front, then level assists are a little better in this set. Like level assists and global 1Ks are like probably what you're looking for.
And you also, like I said, you're also running a 3/3 event, mind you, that can literally win you a game in 3 different ways. So
I like the sound
You
of
can-
that.
you can grab it with this
I'm starting to like
playing
this
this card for 1, putting the Eins out, using his ability to look at check top 3. If you don't have the climax, take the climax. If you need the event, take the event. If you run the level 0, well, you do. If you find a level 0 that lets you grab the event out of your waiting room, you take that card. Because the event
Yeah.
heals you 2, deals 2, or gives something 8k to your opponent's next turn, and your opponent's next turn. I mean,
Like, in terms of a level assist, because there's no 2K frontal assist, if you're playing the Eins combo and you want to play level assist, you just play this, right?
Yeah,
Like,
this is just extra copies of
Yeah,
your level 3,
it's
basically.
just extra copies. And, like, you get the level assist too, so.
And when I'm pretty sure the Eins combos like blows up the field, so like,
Yeah,
you don't need the
Yeah.
extra power then. So
Yeah.
so
it's not even bad that you're cashing
and
them out.
Also, that's on attack, so it's
Anything that saves stock, if you, like, sack a standby and you put this in the back row, you, like, save
Yep.
1 stock on the combo.
yep.
Unless there's like a better level assist later on, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of coming around to it a little bit because I mean you're running heavy on standby, so you want the power support. So level assists are better than normal, and then the fact that you can just funnel this into your finisher is
Yeah.
Pretty good.
kind of pretty handy.
Yep.
All right.
I like it. I've added it as a 1-of, and I really like it. Honestly.
I think as a one of it would be really good. I think that's a really good one of.
All right. Let's talk about the boy. You got him, Drew. It worked out.
So here it is, Andy. It's a trial deck card, mind you. Everybody.
Yeah. You have
Oh,
to
it
buy
is?
2
Yeah.
trial decks. 2 trial decks
The-
when you buy Overlord.
The best card in the entire set is a trial deck card. FYI.
It's the best
This
card
is
in the
your-
set.
This is your big boy right here. This is it. So okay, so I'll read his effect first anyway. So for each of your other characters with either heteromorphic or Nazarick in its name, it gains 1,000 power. When it direct attacks, you choose any heteromorphic or Nazarick character in your waiting room, put it into your stock. On attack. No reverse, nothing like that. No climax, whatever. It's got 2 soul. You stand by this out at level 1 with your 2/1 Irons Climax combo we'll get later that lets you stand anything else. After your opponent just swung into you with every lane, it's probably sacked, or you got your, you have your, we'll get into it later, you have your on reverse clock swap. You have an open lane. You should have an open lane with this card no matter what. So you're plussing her out the bat, and you're putting a wall up, a 2-soul wall. Good luck siding it at level 1, even with a climax. This card is just, it's huge.
If you can get it in the front row early and they can't anti-change it, your opponent's just giving you kind of like a free stock every turn.
I mean, it's literally just Konosuba can do that, right? Like Konosuba, No Game No Life. Yeah, like you won't be able to anti-change it. Like after you get like maybe one turn if you like don't go to level 2. But
If
yeah, I
you're
don't
playing
know.
it off as standby, you give I know 1/1 bombs are becoming a little bit more popular.
I know Slime has one.
Slime
has one.
Ras got one. So like 1/1 bombs are becoming a bit more popular, and you have to like this comes onto your field rested on your turn, and then your opponent.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it comes in standing. It's free. There's a 2/1 Irons that you early play if you have a like 4 or more for Nazarick, and then you play the standby to bounce one of your other cards back to hand, putting this card in that card's slot. So like you don't lose field slots, you don't lose hand. You just plus this to field and then immediately direct with it for an additional free stock. So as long as
it scans itself right away too.
Yeah, it makes it so it's like the Irons plays for free, which is a 2/17K, which is pretty protectable at level 1 already, and then you summon a 10/5 that immediately refunds the stock you just used to play the Irons. So like
and every turn after.
Yeah, just free stock, yeah. The interaction with the standby combo is what makes it so stupid.
Yeah.
I bet just like sacking into like I don't know if I'm gonna say sacking, but just like triggering into additional standbys over the game and getting extra copies of this, starts to really get out of control potentially.
Yeah.
If you can like maybe get the combo off and then trigger another standby and get like 2 of these early, that could be pretty.
Well, and if you think about it, if your opponent is losing even a single lane, this card is a 2-cost encore beater. Look at it that way. Like you can pay 2 to keep this up every single turn, so long as your opponent is crashing 1 lane. Even if they're running this over, this is a 2-cost encore like beater every single turn because it refunds its own stock on attack.
Yep,
that seems pretty good.
Refunds like 1/3 of its cost.
Plus, like Carmen just said, so your ideal is that level 0 we're talking about. We'll get to later. You bounce it back, stand by this card, assign the power from the card you bounce back to your hand because that's what she does. You can give it to your Irons to protect them. FYI. So
you have a 8K and a 10/5.
Yeah.
Yeah, cross turn.
With a 2K backup in hand, I mean...
yeah, nothing's getting over that shit.
That's level 1, mind you. This is all level 1, mind you, boys.
It's very consistent. I wasn't convinced of how consistently this deck... Because, like, you look at it, and it's like it doesn't have a lot of mill. How consistently this deck could, like, pop off at level 1 every single time. I don't think I've played against Drew once where he's failed to... like 2/1 Cocoitus me on his first level 1 turn. It's pretty consistent.
I don't know, maybe Drew's just a sack.
Yeah, maybe he's just a god, but
yeah. I don't hit brainstorms, but god damn it, I'll get that Cocoitus out there, don't you worry about that.
But yeah, like in terms of a card you want to stand by, this is pretty disgusting.
This is the card. I mean, this is the card. If you can't get if you get 1 turn off with this, it's great. It's worth it. You get 2 turns off with this, you are so set up for the rest. Like, because mind you, you're compressing your deck that aren't without sending climaxes. You're picking what you want to send.
Right.
You're stock charging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's for free. Yeah, that's pretty good.
For free. Yeah, like Brian said, you're for free.
OP Cocoitus.
I love it. You know what, Carmen? I agree. I'll give it an A+ just because.
Yeah. I mean, my only problem with the card is that it doesn't have a way to save itself. I would rather it be like 1,000 power under spec and have like hand on core or something. But like, I think that would be broken If you had a way to save this card, because, like, again, you're putting out 2 lanes of something big, right? Where if your opponent invested everything in clearing Cocytus, and they crashed your Eins, and then you somehow were able to, like, encore this for not 3 stock, and then swing into the other lane, that'd be stupid. But, like, that would also make that an S tier card. So it's like right there, you know? It's like A minus, or A plus right there. A plus.
Well, then you're putting your opponent. Then you're saying the rest of the game is played by you trying to side attack a 2-soul 10-5.
Oh, you can't. You just crash, and then your opponent builds free stock. Like,
right, then you give them the other
yeah,
lane
you just give them free
that's
stock.
what I'm saying. It would make this card broke as hell. But again, trial that card, boys. Trial that card. It's really good. Even if you pay it, I've paid for the Cocytus out just because I've gotten sacked in lane, but they don't. Like I said, most people don't expect you to drop something that on direct attack generates a free stock.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of
I've
value.
paid the 4 stock before to dual field this thing at level 2, and so really, you know what I mean. You're really only paying 2, and like you said before, in a standby deck, when you trigger the standbys, you want to pay them out. So I don't really feel bad paying 2 for this if I'm getting a direct attack.
Yeah, because you're refunding it, and then you're getting a stock out.
And then you're swinging for 3 soul. I mean,
yeah. You're just like, especially because it's on first deck, you're like swinging for 3s on first deck. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, we can move on.
I don't want to look at this bug anymore. Let's look at this waifu instead. This albedo. When you play her, you get to heal. Ooh. When this card direct attacks, pay 1, discard a card, deal 1 damage. I'm sensing a theme here. Direct attacking.
Yeah. So it's undercosted because it's a direct attack.
Normally it's a pretty good rate for the effect. And baseline heals you.
Slight anti-synergy, but
the Eins blows up just your opponent's field, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like you're getting the direct attack off with this, and since the Eins is kind of costly, this is a very affordable rate. I actually really like it in context of everything.
It's a little bit of anti-synergy, but
you don't really want to be standbying this, but like
because like you ping 1 and then you swing 3, and if you've played the door, you swing 4. Ping 1, swing 4.
Eins sacks the climax.
If you play, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah,
okay.
Eins stacks the climax.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, you could set up the 3's not terrible.
No, 3's fine.
This is your 3 or
this is like your off finisher. Your off finisher.
You play this with Eins.
Also,
so you probably want less Einses, and like the rest of your top end would be this card. I'm imagining.
Correct.
Y'all want to know how much this card, like the SP, costs?
I was gonna say also the most expensive card in the set, right there.
Probably because it's albedo, and she probably has her juggling.
It's the same art. It's albedo from a trial deck card, and it's a staple. And most decks run 2. So yeah, it's like absurd.
Honestly, I could see this being like.
Well,
I guess it does have to direct.
It was. I quoted you the price. It was what, $650, right?
Yeah, you asked me about the. No. It's $248 now. But it's sold out on UUT. $248.
Oh.
I mean, I saw them in Akia. I saw them in Akia as much as $320. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Damn good. Like just
the heal to stock is fine. It works really well if you don't have the stock to play your Eins that turn.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, if you want to play 2 level 3s at least, and you don't have the stock to play 2 level 3s, you play this card first, then you have the stock to play the Eins. So, if you got a Cocytus on board there, boom. On the Eins attack, you have enough to pay the Eins cost out with the climax, sack it, blow up your opponent's field.
Yeah, with the Cocytus.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Seems perfectly playable to me, yeah.
All right, moving on. No one has to do this. Empty stock soul.
We got green stock soul, boys.
Empty stock soul.
Cocytus on it.
And this one's you, Brian.
It does, there he is.
Beautiful as it always.
We're getting to the red cards in this trial deck are on the whole not great. There's like 1 or 2. But
alright. Let's see. We have Mamonga, ending and beginning. All of your other albedo ending and beginning gain 1,000 power, and it is clock bond to the 105500 albedo.
Ooh, clock bond, apple bond?
Yeah, that's a continuous power apple bond, at least.
Yeah, has Sayaka been power crept? Maybe.
Possibly.
It's yeah, I mean it's fine.
I like it.
Play it in every Overlord deck. It's broken.
Just think about it. It's like Ricky.
It is like Ricky. You're right.
Ricky that only searches for one card.
It's fine. I don't think. I think these are.
Yeah, it's
like. I think even like a year and a half to 2 years ago, you could like play Apple Bonds and backups, and like be okay against like round like 1 through 4 of Swiss maybe. If you played like a genius, but not anymore. Not anymore.
wow.
Everything's too dumb now. Like in English, at least, everything's way too stupid these days.
I don't know. Maybe a spicy opinion, but I think apple bonds are still good. I think this is probably one of the best apple bonds I've seen. I like it. I'm going to give it a B. I like it a lot. I think apple bonds still can cut it.
Yikes. I disagree, but that's fine. I think that there's too many things have way too good like bombs and ways to like pump arbitrarily absurd amounts of power these days.
You just don't have to run a level 1 combo. That's your plussing combo at level 1 is apple bond. Essentially, and then you can just run like
empty
some other
but you'd have to take
empty stocks full.
Ideally, okay, you pass back on average your second turn at 0.5. You clock to 0.6. Let's say that you're really lucky. You have one of these in your grave. You have like one in hand, one in clock, one in grave. You're really going to clock yourself, then play this, clock, level up, play another one, clock, level up, tri-field 7/5s, and then lose to your opponent's like...
What do you mean clock level up?
No, like, you're 0.5, you clock for turn, you play one of these, level yourself up, play this, you're at 1/1. You're going to go to 1/1 from 0.5 to play a board full of 7/5s that die to your opponent's like overpowered level 1 climax combo. Because like most recent sets, like they go to 7/5 base.
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna be able to protect one lane. Like, dude, we have things incoming like Shizu, dude. That looks like they swing at 7/5 and they're on attack climax combos for like no reason. And they want to trade with you because when they get reversed, they go to memory for free. Like that's what I'm saying. It's just like a year and a half ago. I'd agree.
You know what? I think I would like a normal apple bond better.
Yeah, because you pay one, because you wouldn't have to eat the damage. Yeah, you wouldn't have to eat the damage.
For one card's not necessarily a good rate, especially when you're locked into it.
Because it's not like Ricky, because Ricky's absurdly selective, right? This is like one card. Like,
I mean, I guess best case this keeps.
I would rather pay one. I would
There's
rather play Yoko shares an apple.
You can extra utility in the sense that you can
level yourself up.
Level yourself up, and the fact that it's a clock bond and not a
it's not like old fucking Madoka, right?
It makes it like a higher tempo play.
Like you lose
like
a Sayaka
tempo, but
like in the case where like you lose a Sayaka and you like play another Kyoko and you like grab your other Sayaka back and like play it again as like a pay 1+, you like can't do that with this, which like makes it worse.
Yeah, right. I don't think the additional tempo of like the clock bond is better than paying one. I still think it's fine.
Bad. It's fine for a trial deck combo, or I'm sorry, a trial deck. This whole interaction is just bad. Like Carmen said, you're gonna go to 1-2 for this.
I don't know. It's costless.
Taking damage is a misplay. All right, next card. Who has this one? Is it me? Albedo. Yeah. Okay, Albedo with a pink background. This card attack Shimakai. Level 0 Shimakai. These are fine in decks that like need reverses and have like underpowered level 1 combos, but I think the Drew, you've looked at the yellow combo, right? That thing swings in at like a normal amount, correct?
The
The yellow combo. That's like the only.
yellow Eins, the yellow Eins.
Yeah, the yellow thing.
I actually think it's 6K. Honestly,
Let me see.
I think
No,
is.
it sits at 6K. And then swings in at 7. So yeah, I could see that if you need to like get over standby.
This would probably be this in the Shaltier build.
Yeah, level 0 Shimikais are fine. Give it a C+. They're nothing great, but
Yeah.
I would prefer level 1 5K Shimikais. So that when you're playing a climax and getting over something, they can typically clear a lane at 6 by themselves, whereas this is siding or crashing the buff a lane. So you're like level 0 Shimikais are like typically conceding a lane to win another lane, whereas level 1 Shimikais are like at the very least trading their lane and winning another lane.
You don't have to lose it. You can side attack with it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's still conceding. That's conceding the lane.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
this, like level 0 Shimikais concede a lane, whereas level 1 Shimikais at worst trade the lane. Like they're still fine.
Yeah.
I think I value this sort of Shimikai effect more in decks that aren't playing standby. Like,
well, there's an
just,
alternative.
Like,
yeah,
on curve and trying to like.
This is for the non-standby deck. There is a non-standby
like trying
deck.
to make sure you can get a reverse on your opponent's potentially standby characters with your on reverse combo at 1.
It's also a
despite not
2500
running
level
standby.
0. So it's
I don't think standby needs this.
Yeah.
I just think I think it's like a fine profile. I'm gonna throw a minus on there because I think it's a fine profile, but I don't think it's what Overlord wants. I don't think it synergizes.
Like
well
for the
with
spice list, not the meta list, basically.
If you're running a non-standby list that needs to catch reverse, maybe you could toss this in there.
Yeah.
But,
all right, let's pick it up. We're like 40 minutes into this trial day.
We're over halfway, guys.
It's you, Drew. You got the playable card.
1-0 Shaltier, yep, running the standby deck. When it's placed in your hand from the stage, if you reveal the top card of your library, if it's heteromorphic or Nazarick character, it gets 2K. So it's a 5K, potentially. On reverse, it's a level 1 reverser. Level 1 bomb. So.
Sound familiar?
Yep.
Kasumi Bomb. Kasumi Bomb is a good profile.
TD Kasumi Bomb.
It's like I mean, well, the other one's also technically from a TD.
I guess.
It's like, in terms of a bomb, like, what is it? The Kasumi is actually smaller than this, right? The Kasumi is a 2/5? Kasumi's a 2/5? This is a 1 of 3K? With the exact same effect? Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody go to JK.
Bigger than... Does Kasumi get bigger? Kasumi does something else, right?
So going to JKTCG to find a singular Bang Dream card is like... I have to scroll through so many SPs to get to the double rare.
That's not a JKTCG problem. That's Bang Dream.
No, so the Kasumi is literally this exact same card, word for word, 500 power less.
Okay. I don't think the power is very relevant anyway.
Well, you're paying the music tax for standard. That's why it's 500 power less.
You can also stand by this board.
I mean, if you wanted to. I mean, again, the on play, the fact that it gives 2,000 power, and it's a bomb is dumb. Send it to 5K so it can beat over level 1. Say you whiff combo in a non-standby deck and you're not playing climax. Your opponent has already comboed you. Your opponent's combos sit at 4K or like lower than that, like some combos do. You buff this thing to 5K, you swing over it with a bomb, they're still at level 1 because they didn't eat a lot of damage, and then they have to swing back into this. And then you clear a lane for Cocytus. Sounds pretty good.
Does have good Cocytus synergy.
Yeah. That's why you run it. You run it for the Cocytus synergy.
I think if your deck wants a bomb, then this is a very good bomb. About as good as they come.
Mm-hmm.
But right. You gotta run a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on.
Maybe you don't want to.
You, Andy. You get the boring one.
Eins! Looking serious as usual. When he attacks, he gets 2,000 power.
I'm sick
don't
of
think
these,
this really
dude.
does. As far as like a standby, just like a generic like standby level 1 target goes, I mean, that you can still just play from your hand for 0. It's nice that it doesn't have to enter from your hand to.
It doesn't sit big though. It's garbage.
It doesn't have to enter from your hand to get the power though. It can enter like from waiting room, from wherever, and still be a.
Weirdly enough, there's
a
no
big boy.
standby in the TD. No, it's like weird. They have
I think
like a code
considering it's a
Standby in the
standby focus set, I like this better than I usually would, but it's still like
garbage. Yeah.
not great. It's barely playable in like the most fringe sense.
Drew, you got a score for us?
Trash? It's trash.
Yeah.
I scored.
All right. Moving on. Nobody has to vote a vanilla.
Wow.
Next.
It's an apple bond. It's better than a vanilla.
It is.
It's a vanilla. Well, that card in a vacuum is vanilla.
All right, we have Sheltier, Scarlet Crusher. When your other heteromorphic race or Nazarick character attacks, gets 1500, goes up to 9k, and has hand on core.
hate it. Not
Yeah,
Cocoitus.
it's pretty bad.
Yep. I'd rather
Bad.
would rather pay 2 for a Cocoitus.
Yeah.
Than pay 1 for this. All right, combo. Now this is a card. This is Ein's. When this is placed from the hand of the stage by the act effect of the Doomrader's Guardian of the 7th floor, the level system we talked about. Look at top 3, add 1, ditch the rest, and then climax combo. Pay 2, put the door climax from your climax zone and 2 cards from your hand in the waiting room. So it's pay 2, ditch 2, sack the climax. When this card attacks, you may pay cost, put all of your opponent's level 3 or lower characters in the front row into their waiting room. Nuke their entire front row.
Does not target.
Does not target. Very important for English. With AOT being popular and running around. The fact that you can choose when the field nuke goes off, the fact that you can get additional damage modulation or preserve your damage modulation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like you're swinging for the same numbers with and without the climax, which is what I like. The cost is more manageable than you'd expect in the list, I think.
That in your ideal field is 2 albedos on the wings with this in the middle. You swing with this, nuke the board, and swing with the albedos. Pay 1, burn 1.
Yeah, pay 1, burn 1,
Okay,
swing
so, like,
3,
what's
pay
the,
1, swing 3.
Drew. Ooh, teacher, I have a question. What's
Andy?
there has to be like a dedicated finisher in Overlord. Like what's the strongest like climax combo finisher in the set if you weren't running this?
I would say the Shawl tier. Not running. Okay, so you can't. I'm biased to the standby list because that's what I play. I like the Shawl tier level 3 climax combo. I love it. I think it's actually really good. I don't think it doesn't work in standby, which sucks. But this this card existing means that your albedo from this trial deck actually is the best climax combo you have in this deck. But you're also swinging 2 Soul Cocoitus for two levels, possibly 4 turns if you can. The whole goal of this deck, or I'm sorry, the standby build is to stay at level 2. Right? You're healing. You're using your standby. You know what I mean? You're generating stock. You're compressing yourself like a madman. You should be staying at level 2, unless you're me.
You're kind of just riding the Cocutuses from level 1 all the way through to your end game, and then my read on this Ein's is that you don't really need to run anything other than Cocutus. He kind of just does all the work himself. And so you just get to run Empty Gate. So you get to run Empty Gate, and then this is like a good enough card.
Yeah, it's like a bonus. Normally. Yeah, it's just a bonus.
It's like a bonus. Yeah. So
you don't really need to do a whole lot at the top. You just get to run.
And you only need to field 1.
Ein's is pretty cool.
You only need to play 1.
Right. You only ever play 1. Yeah. So you're also gonna see a level 1 Ein's that tries to keep you through level 1. You're also going to see an albedo early play that is really fucking good. And she is how you pretty much answer any problems you have at level 2 to keep you at level 2. And you guys will see that later. But this card here is what you essentially, like I said, you're focusing on direct attacks, right? That's what your whole that's what you're thinking about the whole time. So you know what I mean. This card helps you get there, helps you stay there. The albedos you're fielding are not understated by any means, especially like I said, if you're running the card showed here, the 2/1 Demiurge, you're you're possibly maybe losing one lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's also a level 3 of the twins that you run that makes your front row pretty much untouchable.
And it has clock kick, correct?
And it has clock kick. It's a high cost, but it does have clock kick. So it does remove threats. So you place it in front of this demiurge, you slam the door, and then you just remove whatever threat your opponent has into their clock, which we all know is pretty uninteractable anyway at level 3. So,
like, I don't really consider this a finisher, but I think
it like enables
a very convenient card you get to run.
It gives you good damage numbers.
Convenient.
It's what gives you good damage numbers, right? Because you can do exactly what Drew said, and it's actually in the trial deck as the synergy is you put this down, you attack with this first, sack your opponent's entire field, and then your 2 albedos on your side lanes swing for 1-3-1-3. So you swing for 3-1-3-1-3. Which is like, it's like, it's not quite AOT-esque, right? But it's like the same sort of like idea,
it's
right?
Not even comparable.
Well, no, because it's 1. Mikasa's like 1-3-1.
Mikasa's pinging a bunch. Yeah.
Well, if you don't pay, it's the same if you don't pay the additional 2 at the bottom. If you just swung Mikasa.
So if Mikasa
twice,
was just Trouble Girl Haruhi.
Well, it's not because you're removing the climax from the equation.
A good card.
No, you're removing the climax from the equation. You get to change your damage numbers. Like the fact that you get to change your damage numbers after the fact, and then there are pings involved is what makes it good.
You don't get the ping unless you direct attack. It's actually not that much of a choice.
No, but you get to change your damage numbers. Because you're
correct.
Yeah, it depends on what your opponent's fielding. You can decide to remove your opponent's card, side your opponent's card, front your opponent's card. You're during battle step. That's like really, really good.
Yeah, you don't have to direct attack with this card. You don't have to frontal attack with this card to use the climax combo.
No. I mean, you have to direct specifically
for albedo, yes.
With the albedo,
but that's if you want the burn 1. Maybe you don't want to burn 1 before you attack. Yeah, it depends.
And
it depends what you want to do.
When I'm doing this, you can also.
Why would I not want an extra instance of damage?
Because you might want to side.
Correct, and you could. In my experience, when using this card, you can also count on the refresh damage, so that's guaranteed.
Because if you're swinging direct, you're swinging more, but like you can change that up, right?
Yep.
It depends. This card gives you options.
Dude, even for me, that's like.
This card gives you options. It's a lot less fringe than you think.
The fringiest of fringe scenarios.
Nah, dude. Damage modulation with top end is super real.
Comes down to, is it worth running this over an actual top end combo?
I believe so.
What other combo do you want to run?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of the set, so I can't really comment on it.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But just like in a vacuum, just analyzing this card, it's like I don't.
Andy, all you need to know is this climax comes in a triple rare. So done. It's fucking done. Shiny as shit, dude. That's it.
I'm kind of like Carmen, where it could be literally stick figures on a card.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
doesn't even need to be shiny stick figures.
I think
I'm gonna be the brave one and give a rating first. I think it's a very nice splashable top end if you just want the convenience of running an empty gate and a very convenient finisher that just kind of is always going to do something. But I don't think it's a true finisher.
It's not. It's a utility card. I wouldn't call this a finisher. I would call this.
You have to forego.
I would call this a this isn't a finisher. This is a utility card where you have to play an empty gate. That's my opinion on the card.
Yeah, this just enables the direct attack synergy for the rest of it.
Yeah, it lets you modulate your damage. Yeah. I'm a slut for damage modulation. I think like high damage modulation finishers are what can close out games even on the most compressed decks. And it's like, I don't know. I've won too many games off like high damage manipulation finishers to like ever say they're bad.
This manipulates damage as much as you think it does, though.
Well, no, it's the fact that you can sack off the climax.
I wish Tyler was here, honestly, because like
what if it's on your last attack?
His Bunny Girl deck.
Yeah,
I won that game because of this card alone.
This card's very good against Bunny Girl.
Well, it's a nuke. Yeah, like
big standby heavy decks.
I think as a tech, like if you're gonna play empty gate, why do you not play this? Right? It's like a tech card. It's like a bouncer for your opponent's entire field, except they die.
Yeah,
Like,
but do
you
I
know?
want to play an empty gate just so I can run this tech card?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like Andy. I mean, like I think we're agreeing
Trade-off.
here. Like
Yeah,
I would
we
call
are
this
agreeing.
yeah, we're
wording
just
things
doing it
differently.
loudly. Like
We're loudly agreeing.
I would call this a
Loud
utility
noises.
card, not a finisher. And it has
Here's
a good
my
come
thing,
and
though,
play
too.
effect too. So like,
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't ignore the first effect. There is an event you run in this deck. The event literally it's another form of damage as well. So like Carmen said, damage manipulation, cool, right? This event also lets you stick 2, heal 2, or make this card untouchable if you want to try and maybe last another turn while you're compressed, like this deck likes to do, compress itself.
well,
I mean,
okay, I'm
it
gonna
lets you grab
retract what
that
I said. Damage manipulation, I don't think might be the right word. But think about it this way: what if
If your
you?
opponent's randomly at like 3-5 or 3-6,
No. What if
and
your
you say,
opponent's
I want to side you here instead, like you could do
well,
that.
well, yeah, it's not even that. I mean, there's that obviously. The fact that you could sack up the climax, the fact that you can create a direct lane for Albedo to ping for 1 after you see damage that has already gone through. Because like, what if your opponent's like 7 cards in, right? Or like, what if your opponent's like in the weird like low deck state with like 1 climax or something, and they eat a big swing, and then they like randomly eat a big swing when they're not favored to. You swing this in, sack the climax, burn their whole field. This card's damage cancels. Then there are like no cards in deck, and then you can say, oh well, like Albedo pinging here wins the game guaranteed. You know, it's like good in those situations because you can react to what happens after the fact, like after the first swing. Like I don't think you swing with this first very often, unless you're just like unga bunga pushing damage. You swing with this second based on what the first swing is. You know, and then you can like react. Because like good players are gonna try to like mill down, right, when they're in bad situations. Like this is a card that's better against good players and worse against bad players, right? It's one of those, and that's why you only run 2 of it. Who cares? You're running empty door. It's like a utility
what type
card.
of bad player is leaving you a field to blow up when your whole deck is beefing up with standby?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
let's say
It's
you-
a
let's say
utility
you
card.
just-
Big cock.
let's say you just survive the Mikasa swing. This card doesn't get over Mikasa, but with the climax combo, you blow up the whole field. I don't got to worry about it next turn.
It's just a removal.
Dude, don't
If you
even
survive.
compare this bag of bones to Mikasa.
Yeah, it's not Mikasa.
Mikasa is
Mikasa's
God
broken.
to this
I
man.
didn't say it was. I didn't say it was.
Momongo
I'm
would
saying.
see a total Mikasa simp
Oh
if
my
he
god!
were in
I'm
the same
saying.
universe.
You
I'm
guys heard it
saying
here
you
first.
blow-
CD Ainz
It's
is
a 1 hour
basically
trial
Mikasa.
deck review.
No.
Brian, I
No,
want to
I-
hear you yell something really loud about this card. You haven't said anything in like 10 minutes.
I've just been I agree more with what Andy's saying here. Long story short, this card is not a finisher.
No.
The fact that this card clears off your opponent's board is potential utility in itself that can remove troublesome things like maybe Futaba from Bunny Girl. But the main purpose it's run is to enable the direct attack synergy from cards like the level 3 Albedo. And because of that, I think it's a reasonable inclusion.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of the standby deck, I don't think you're running something else unless you are playing the blue finisher, which is like you have to like build to play the blue finisher, which like changes the deck a significant amount to play the what's her name? I can't remember. The pants finisher. You have to change the deck a significant amount to play that card. So if you don't want to change the rest of the deck, you like throw this in. Like an empty gate, it's a utility card. All right, let's
Please move on.
it's been an hour.
We have this event. We have this cutie pie grabbing a ring for Big Daddy Bones. Choose 2 characters in your waiting room. Return them to your hand. Discard a card. Magical girl appears.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
I don't think you run this card.
No.
You want your stuff in your graveyard to stand by anyway.
The profile's fine, I guess. Like,
I don't know. I don't think the profile's playable.
Magical Girl
the modern
appears is
era,
playable if
Carmen.
it has like a bond, yeah, but it's like it's not.
If it has a bond, I don't think it's playable. I think it'd have to do.
Oh,
something
you'd have to pay
incredible.
1. It'd have to be like a clock bond to this, and then you pay 1.
Still don't think it would be good.
Yeah.
And
Whatever.
We have Ainz with the Infinity Goblet.
Two
Bingo.
soul.
Oh, two
Two
soul.
souls. Boom.
Okay, so after going on a 2, I guess you can rate the 2 soul. S+ for 2 soul.
Yeah, 2 soul's broken.
Blow up their whole board with Eins and then slam the 2 soul.
You can't. It's a climax. It's an attack phase.
This is not the climax, Andy.
This ain't DMS.
Yeah, I
You
know,
can't
but
swap the
it's the
climax.
next turn.
No, the next
The
turn.
next turn,
Right,
because
next
Eins isn't a
turn.
finisher. You just blow up their shit.
This is your finisher.
They're so dejected, they just can't even have the will to move on, and then you slam them with this 2 soul.
This trial deck for not having a level 1 advantage combo.
It does have a level 1 advantage combo. It's Apple Blonde.
Well, yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
like for a trial deck that doesn't have like just a level 1 combo in it, this trial deck seems pretty good.
No,
'Cause
it's
it has-
perfectly
oh,
serviceable.
It has 3 meta cards in it. 3 to 4. No, it has 4. It has fucking, what is it? Cocuitus. It has Albedo. It has the bomb, the
Binds.
Shoutier bomb, and the
It has the
Irons.
binds.
Yeah,
Yeah. It has 4 meta cards in it. So like, you're someone who's looking to get into Weiss. You could do a
This
lot
is it.
worse than the Overlord trial deck. And like, it only has 1 set, and it's probably not getting another set. So
Yeah, just
easy pickup if you want to try the
slap some
game.
booster standbys on that bad boy.
All right, it's been an
Yeah.
hour, and I know that this is like a weird case because there are 4 meta cards in the trial deck that warranted like discussion. But yeah, it's been an hour. Does anyone else have anything to say about the trial deck?
Pick it
I
up.
gotta pee.
Same.
That's what I gotta say.
All right, we'll
Yeah,
see you
no.
guys in yellow.